I'm gonna show you a trick, and you can stop using MP collector on your bunnies, okay? Because I've seen that in the comments a few times. Look at this. Look at my mana bar. Okay, and tell me what you see. Right? My mana bar doesn't go down. Is this a trick? No, it's not. You don't need to get mana from enemies in order to sustain a bunny. There's just one mod you need. Let me show you the mod because we don't need this video to be too long. Narcissism. That's it. Max this out, put it on your build, mix it with maximized conservation and strong mentality if you will. Get 80 to 83% cost reduction in your skill, which is going to be 2 mana per second. Right? Don't look at the 10 because this doesn't get taken into account. This is going to make so that you only consume 2 MP, which is going to make you run for very long times on bunny. However, in order to run infinitely, you need this, okay? You need to have an MP recovery in combat that goes over 0.2. If you get something like this with max MP, around 140, around 150, and MP recovery in combat 0.2 or above, eccellente. Done. Basically what happens is the MP recovery in combat is always active, which means that the 2 mana per second I'm using to sprint gets cancelled by the 2.4 mana per second I'm recovering with my sensor. And this is why at 10 stacks you run of Narcissism, you run indefinitely. That's it. You could also run only these 2 and not use strong mentality, and you will only be using like 1 mana per second. You could basically run for 5 minutes straight before it goes out, so it really doesn't matter. You could just do this and your mana consumption will still be relatively low. Look, when I get to 5-7 stacks, although you'll see MP draining, look at the rate of drainage. It's like you can run for a very long time, and bunny doesn't really need to run forever. I'm gonna go into some negatives because not everything is gold, okay? We have a few negatives. Wait, what? In combat? What combat? Who am I fighting? Am I fighting someone? In order to gain the 10 stacks of Narcissism, you need to sprint, right? And it's gonna take you about 10 seconds, a bit less. However, look what happens when you hit an obstacle. It cancels. Again. Here's what happens when you use a grapple. It cancels. Okay? So you can only sprint and jump. Sprint and jump is fine. But unfortunately, nothing else works. Now, it only takes you a couple of seconds to really build stacks necessary for your MP to not go down too much. Like 5 stacks is already, you can already feel the difference. But the point is, 5-6 stacks, you're already pretty good. However, if you have to go into small spaces, dungeons that you know you have to grapple around a lot and stuff, Narcissism is gonna have a few shortcomings because of this. It's not gonna be too much, but you have to keep that in mind. And this is pretty much the build. That's it. Weighing the scales, you don't really need it. I'm gonna put skill concentration in here. It just doesn't fit right now. And I'm using Decimator for some extra damage. You can take this off and put whatever you like. You can put skill simplification if you're using all 3 mods, because the extra MP you don't really need it because you run forever. So just get that extra juicy 84% damage. I don't suggest putting maximized power on anything that gives you like the cooldown, because this is already pretty much in line. So you'll need to offset the cooldowns with more mods, which is going to ruin everything. So skill simplification if you want that extra juicy power. It doesn't really matter, really. She hits already pretty hard. I'm gonna put the crit here and focus on electric for the cooldown. You could have this as an R if you really wanted to, and put focus on singular. So her second and third abilities are singular, and this way you have a focus on singular, which is an R, if I'm not mistaken. or singular, yes, because me English is nothing. Focus on singular, which is an R, and you can have some extra skill cooldown, which is also good because of this. One already works pretty well. If you want to, just build two. Everything else, build whatever you want into it. If you want more power, if you want more more crits, whatever it is that you want, you can build on it. Because this is only 2 mods, 3 if you really want to use strong mentality. And then you sprint forever. That's it. Go test it. Leave MP Collector be. It's not as useful as you think. Ciao. It's been my pleasure.